Hey, everybody. I'm trying something new today. I'm at the coffee shop because I've got people working at my house. So I came here to work today. But I wanted to jump on and I want to talk about a webinar. Here it is. I'm looking for my domain name here. I want to talk about a webinar that I'm hosting on April 20th at 12 Central, 1 Eastern. And it's all about how do you convert some of your investment vehicles, right? How about an orphaned 401k? How about um, if you're self-employed, your 401k, your Roth IRA? There's so many vehicles we have out there that we're not even paying attention to because we think, oh, I worked at that job 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You guys tell me how my sound quality is. Um, I never ever have gone live from somewhere other than my studio, my office with great lights and sounds and all that. But I'm here today and I'm sitting here working on it. And I want to show you, I've brought in a wealth manager. I've brought in somebody who manages a big self-directed IRA fund to be able to be the expert. And that's going to be on April 20th at noon Central, 1 Eastern. I guess that would make it 10 a.m. Pacific time. To talk about how do you take your 401k, from the one you had from 9 jobs ago that you never did anything with, or if you're self-employed, how do you make that money work for you? All right, throw me some comments in there. Tell me if you have got 401k, if you're self-employed like me, an old Roth IRA. Like, for example, James and I are getting ready to fund another $16,000. I guess we have to do it today or tomorrow. As our contribution, to our Roth IRAs, right? And that money just sits there. It sits in the dead zone, but not for me, right? So I'm going to take that money. I'm going to buy my IRA because I have to, right, to be able to write it off of my taxes. And then I'm going to convert it into a self-directed IRA. And I'm going to take that money and I'm going to invest it in real estate with no penalties, right? I'm not having to cash it out. I'm not having to pay taxes on it. I'm actually going to get a tax deduction on it. And then I'm going to turn around, convert it, and I'm going to invest it in real estate. All right. That's what we're going to talk about. So if you go to crushingitwithrealestate.com, you can sign up for this webinar. And I'm bringing on an expert from iPlan. And this is a gal that I use that I've been able to take what I call dead money. Like somebody in the comments right now tell me how much their orphaned IRA is paying them or what kind of return they're getting on a self-employed Roth, or tell me. You're not. And if you're making money, you're super lucky. But imagine converting all that into real estate where you know that you are in control of your investment, right? It's not tied to some crazy stock. It's not tied to anything that you're not in control of. And you're going to own an appreciating asset. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. You're going to own these are all my LinkedIn people. LinkedIn is no joke, y'all. Like, my LinkedIn people are totally committed to the game. Look at me. I've never come live from a coffee shop. These people in here are looking at me, but I'm like, I've got to multitask because I'm so busy right now. I'm out looking at properties. Let me just tell you like my little story. So I've been self-employed for 10 years. Okay. So every year for 10 years, my husband and I have each put in, and longer than that, but this is just one of them, $6,500 a year each. Now, since we're over 50, we get to put in another $1,000. Big deal, right? But anyway, so let's just say we've put in $12,000 a year for 10 years. Round numbers, but they're pretty darn close. I've got $120,000 sitting there that I can do anything I want with, as long as I convert it into a self-directed IRA. So I can now take that money. If I wanted to, I could buy a primary residence, which I don't need to do. And I'm sorry about the background noise. I'm just trying this out. I'm sitting here. I'm like, I did my hair today, so like, why not get on camera and talk to you guys about this webinar I've got coming up. And so I'm going to convert that $120,000 ish into, after I contribute this year. So I'm going to do that this week before I file my extension. Give me some hearts if anybody else is filing an extension on Monday. Please, somebody make me not feel so bad. Anyways, and so I'm going to convert that money into a down payment on $1 million property. That is my, down payment on $1 million property. And guys, I haven't touched that money. I haven't touched that money in 10 years, part of it. I haven't even thought about that money. I think this is one of the greatest real estate hacks on planet Earth. Then I think about my daughter. My daughter's had, I don't know, 2 or 3 jobs in high tech. And it's not because she gets fired, it's because she's amazing and she keeps getting recruited and recruited and recruited and recruited. Plus, she follows her favorite ex boss that she loves. But anyway, so she's got all these orphaned 401ks with a lot of money in them. So now, versus just like, forgetting about them and letting them sit, she's going to convert them into self-directed IRAs and buy real estate. And if I would have known this when I bought my house 2 years ago, if I would have realized the power of it, I would have taken that money then. I would have taken the money then and I would have put it into my homestead. So you can do anything you want with it. You can use it for a down payment. You can use it for escrow money. You can use it for earnest money, option money. You can even use it if you buy an investment property. You can use the money that goes back into the fund. You can use it to make the repairs on the property. Like, there's way too much to try to get into in the loud, noisy coffee shop. But y'all, I want you to go and I want you to scour. For those of us who are of a certain age, go and scour. What are those old 401ks that you've got just sitting around and you get a statement every year on, right? Roth IRAs. If you're self-employed, you can actually use your active 401k now. It's not good for your 401k if you're still employed with the company, because the plan manager's probably not going to let you self-direct, right? They want you buying their funds and their stuff. So that's cool, whatever. But how many times have you thought about, God, I want to tap that money. I want to get into that money. I want to buy an asset that'll actually build generational wealth. And that's what you can do with these, what I call dead funds. I mean, I've got 6 figures just sitting out there. I've done nothing with. I just, I stick it on my personal financial statement every year. It's just another asset. Who cares? Why not leverage that asset into $1 million property? That $1 million property starts creating cash flow. That makes sense, right? So if you want to know more, give me some notes in the comments here. Like, if you're like, wow, like I haven't even thought about that before. 2 of my very best friends on planet Earth. I mean, very best, longest friends ever. This was proof to me that I know that my friends watch my videos, because they both called me and at different times, and they said, I watched your video about this 401k thing and about this Roth IRA. Like, can we really convert that self-directed and put it into real estate with no taxes, without any penalties, without any early payoffs? I'm like, abso-friggin-lutely, right? So join my friends on this webinar. It's going to be very informational. You'll be in and out in 30 minutes. It's on April 20th at noon Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. You have to go to crushingitinrealestate.com. Get registered. Information's power, and misinformation will keep you broke. Misinformation will keep you from building the legacy and the generational wealth that you and your family deserve. So, what do you think about my live with no lighting? God, I feel like I'm like, no lighting, no anything. Live here from the coffee shop in Belton, Texas. One of my favorite places to come and work when people are working on my house. So anyways, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Get registered for this webinar. Let's talk about how, you guys know that my mantra, why I got into real estate when I left the auto industry, was to help families build generational wealth through real estate. And as the deeper I get into it and the more that I sell, and I think you guys know, my team did $1,250 million last year in 2022 in residential real estate sales. My coach, my mentor, Grant Cardone, you can't run in the circles that I run in and not learn all of this and not be so convicted about it that I feel like I've got to stand on the mountaintops and tell y'all about it. Now, I don't make a dime if you convert your real estate, just so you know. I mean, you convert your 401ks. I'm not doing this piece to make money. I am doing this piece that if you live in my market, I'd love to, show you some of our deals and some of the investments we've got and some of the great properties that are available. But I'm not doing this to make money. This is all like me giving to you, my sphere of influence, my audience. And I don't care where you live. Stop letting other people control your assets. And those 401ks, those orphan 401ks, those Roth IRAs, all of that stuff. There's a list of 5 of them. They're all just sitting there, and they're in somebody else's fund. They're buying somebody else's stock, and you could be doubling that money. You could be tripling that money. You could be 10xing that money. Who knows if you get it if you get into the right investment vehicle. But most importantly, you can learn the game. I learned the game. You can learn the game, right? And I'd love to teach you the game. I love the game so much. I've done very, very well in the last 3 years because I learned the game. Like, I wish I would have learned this game. And what I'm so excited about is that I've now taught my kids the game, right? My kids are in their 30s, but they're both in real estate, and they're both own real estate now. And and my daughter's a licensed real estate, and she's playing the game, right? Like, we're playing the game. Because the only way to build generational wealth in this country, really, unless you inherit it or win the lottery or IPO. I was listening to a podcast today. This guy's like, well, I IPO'd and I made 40 million. Okay, great. Lucky you. I was trying to figure out where he lived to see if he needed a real estate agent. But anyways, but the only real way for the average people like you and me to make money, to secure generational wealth, to have an appreciating asset that outruns this insane inflation that's going on right now is real estate. Real estate's the only way you can do it, y'all. It is the only way you can do it. And so many people say, barrier to entry to get into the game. I can't get into the game. Why can't I get into the game? I don't have any money, Lisa. I don't have any money. But you've got an orphaned 401k that's got $20,000 in it. You've got a Roth IRA. You've got guys, it's endless. If you want to get into the real estate game, if you want to become a real estate investor, I can show you how to do it. I can 1,000,000% show you how to do it. But this is really, that everybody here, I don't care where you live, if you do business with me, if you love me, if you hate me, whatever, you should be on this webinar on the 20th at noon Central at crushingitinrealestate.com. You need to be on it. You need to get registered for it, and you will thank me someday. So I'm going to go back to work. I hope you all have a great day. And I guess I'm going to say goodbye from the coffee shop. Bye, y'all.